I noticed I have a little long hair. But this reminds me of Daisetsu having a long eyebrow. Anyway, I was listening to Okamura-san's video. This is in Japanese. And she was talking about Daisetsu, as usual. I guess this may have been recorded, I don't know the exact date, but perhaps 10 years ago, reflecting time with Daisetsu. And the discussion was about Daisetsu's feeling of living life at old age. And one point, there are a couple of points. One point that I picked up is he enjoyed living at the old age. And the word I remember him saying in the other setting is that, talking to Mihoko-san, Okamura-san, saying that you should get old. More you get older, you get to know more about life. And related to that, probably, what Daisetsu was explaining to Okamura-san is that there's so many interesting things in the world. And using the example like a dewdrops on the window, I have rain here, so maybe that's the reason I picked up. I mean, I lived in the car when I was traveling in New Zealand for 15 years or so, every year for 3 months. And that was when I could really live in the car and the rain drops counting, and that memory is still with me. And really, when the mind is pure, simple, become like the mind of the child, and you can talk to the nature, relate to each other, like use the word melting into nature, because mind is accessing everything. And many people say after going through the meditation, when they get out, finishing it, they feel this sense of liberation, as if the world they see around is the first time, because the mind is so clear and quiet. And I think this was the talk Okamura-san was saying, that it's like a baby mind with curiosity. And I think that was one point that I picked up was interesting. The other point that I picked up, I will put the URL, but in Japanese it's a video, but it could be something of meaningful because you can translate the transcript if you're interested. But the other part, kind of like a same but opposite side of the picture, is that I may feel living life is like a hell. It's very negative when I say that. But actually, I felt like it when I was with my friend today, and I was explaining what's going on in the US, and this is in New Zealand, Kiwi friend, and trying to explain, and just explaining what's going on in the Congress, and the conflict, and the Putin, and the war, and all the potentials, and how the voting took place. People are not happy. And also after that, I happened to watch the picture of the homeless people. There's some documentary of different parts of the United States, including like Hawaii and Alaska. And I was feeling, depressed, unhappy, relating to the situation, because why there's such a huge difference? What can be done? But at the same time, as I was listening to this Okamura-san's talk with the Kanematsu, is another guy, Kanematsu, whatever the other guy's name, is about the hell, and the Daisetsu's point is, okay, you can go to heaven, but it's boring to stay there, so why don't you come back? And I agree with him, because as human, do you have things to do? And the human world is full of hell. That ego and what brings out of that is the conflict and the conflict in terms of all things, wealth difference, and that's very painful. But that is also the reason of Bodhisattva's vow to come back, like a Namo Amida Butsu, Amida Buddha, or anyone who may have had the sense of nirvana. I was posting about the Jubal Taylor, when she lost the left brain due to the stroke. She went into nirvana state because there's no word and the logic, but she had this no mind and no self state. And that's what I felt interesting, and then posted a few videos about it relating to my awakening experience. And she's saying the world is like a miracle. Living life is like a miracle. So that's what it is on one end, away from the hell. There's a heaven, nirvana end of it. And sorry for the noise, for the messenger. And that to say it's no point of being there. You are in blissful sensation, samadhi, transparency, energy building, and what do you do with it? And we are human beings, so we go work in the hell. So maybe that's not a good expression to say that the human world is the hell, but having the mind and the ego playing and the conflict develop and the fighting. So that was part of this video discussion, and I'm kind of repeating to it that discussion of the hell, but Daisetsu to feel comfortable about it. Being in the other shore, meaning in the grounded state of samadhi. His word is spirituality, the Japanese spirituality, whatever the term is. But that's the feeling of in nirvana, but accept everything as it is and not to be influenced as much. You may still feel the pain when there are people suffering, but still, being a human like that, but still you have this sense of, in the background or the root of who we are, the sense of nirvana. And that is the discussion. And sort of confirming the view I have when I listened to this, and felt very nice to hear Okamura-san's voice again, because she passed away and we had such a great relationship. And her point sharing this view are very clear, concise. Yes, I will put the way so that perhaps you can listen to the story or possibly translate the transcript. I'll take a look if I can do that. So anyway, that's just the view, one view, that we may learn to go beyond the ego. Again, no mind, no self. Example of Jubal Taylor. I also mentioned about Kenji Miyazawa. There's no happiness as individual unless everybody is happy. It's like may all beings be happy. So that's the vow of the Bodhisattva. And what's the point of being in the heaven, nirvana? That's the spirit. And I'm just trying to, or relating to, so that I was a bit depressed just talking to my friend about what's going on in the US. But if there's a will, there's a way. And that's what it is. Human being developed and may create a hell with the ego, but there's a way. There's a way to go beyond. And people send me encouraging note that I should keep doing it. And I like to, even though I may be a little bit downward situation today. But I just wanted to share that sense about the human world being seen as hell. But we can find nirvana in there. And that's the spirit. The point, just one more point, is that not to, how can I say, mind or the brain and the heart you get there is where nirvana is, so to speak, Samadhi state, in my view. No mind, no self. Everything is peaceful. But do you go back with the energy into the mind and the world and figure out? And in that process, we can detach ourselves with the problem, even though we may feel the pain as people are feeling. That's compassion. But still maintain the level of detachment, acceptance, and find a way with wisdom and compassion. I just want to clarify that and make sure that's the passage I want to keep on moving forward. Thank you. And thank you, Okamura-san.